Hi, welcome to YOGATX. Welcome to another Wednesday flow. My name is Nicolle. Thanks so much for joining me for today's flow. Today's flow you can pretty much do any time of the day. So whenever you feel like you need a little bit of a reset, we will get rid of any cracks that you might be holding in your body. We will lengthen, we will stretch, and challenge our balance a little bit. So when you're ready, come to your mat and let's flow it out together. We'll start in the center of our mat today. So come to a kneeling position, sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands onto your thighs. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Close your eyes. And connect with your breath. With your inhale, expand the crown of your head towards the sky. And with your exhale, soften and relax the shoulders. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, soften and relax your shoulders. Take a few more cycles of breath, arriving in your body, arriving on your mat. Take a deep inhale through the nose and a washing breath out through your mouth. Seal your lips. Keep inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Gently open up your eyes. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, expand the fingertips towards the sky, and with your exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Bring your right hand to your left wrist and grab your left wrist. With your inhale, pull the left arm towards the sky, and with your exhale, gently bend over to the right. Lift the gaze up towards the sky. Lengthening the left side of your body. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, come back to center. And then bring the left hand onto your right wrist. With your inhale, extend the right arm out long towards the sky. With your exhale, gently bend over to the left. Lift the gaze up towards the sky. Look up underneath your right arm. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, come back to center. And then bend into your left elbow and grab your left elbow with your right hand. And gently pull the left elbow over towards the right. Give it a gentle push. You might start feeling some cracks. Switch your sides, bend into the right elbow, bring the left hand onto your right elbow. Gently pull the right elbow over to the left. Release, bring your hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. With your next inhale, extend the arms out long. Press the shoulder blades together. Open up your chest. Gently lift the gaze towards the sky. Try and press the bottom of your palms towards each other. And feel that nice opening in your chest. Take one more cycle of breath. With your exhale, release the interlace and then come up into a tabletop. Come to your all fours. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Press them into the floor. Your knees are hip width apart and your hips are stacked on top of your knees. We'll start with a few rounds of cats and cows. With your inhale, drop the belly, open up the chest, lift up your gaze. And with your exhale, tuck the tailbone round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, open up your chest, lift up your gaze. And with your exhale, chin to chest and round through the spine. Last round. Inhale, drop the belly, open up your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, Tuck the tailbone round through the spine and push the floor away with your hands. Release, come to neutral tabletop position. With your next inhale, lift up your right leg, point your right toes. Keep your gaze down towards the floor in between your hands. And then when you're stable, lift the left arm up. Reach forward with your fingertips, reach back through your toes. And with your exhale, come into a tiger crawl. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, tiger crawl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tiger crawl. Inhale, lengthen. And with your exhale, release the left hand and the right leg down to the floor. We switch sides. So start to lift up your left leg, point your left toes, draw the lower belly towards the spine. Extend the right arm out long, find your balance. With your inhale, find length. And with your exhale, ooh la la, tiger crawl. Inhale, find your length. Expand the fingers towards the top of your mat and the toes to the back. Exhale, tiger crawl. One more time, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, come into a tiger crawl. Inhale, find your length one more time. And with your exhale, release the right hand, the left leg down to the floor. Open up your knees, bring the big toes together. Sit back onto your heels and lower the torso down towards the floor in between the knees. Extend your arms out long. Spread the fingers wide. Press the palms of your hand into the floor. With your inhale, breathe into the back of the body. And with your exhale, release the torso closer towards the floor. We take 3 cycles of breath in our wide-legged child's pose. With each exhale, see if you can find a little bit more depth, releasing the torso closer towards the floor. If you can, connect the forehead to the floor. Last cycle of breath. Gently lift up your gaze, bring the hands closer to the torso, claw your paws, tuck the toes, push through the arms, lengthen the legs, move the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Give it a few steps, walk out your dog. Feel free to bring some movement into your hips, moving these hips right to left. Find stillness in your down dog. Gentle bend in your knees, tailbone points up towards the sky. Push through the hands, feel that lengthening in your spine. Your ears are in alignment with your upper arms. Releasing the heels and the sternum towards your mat. With your next inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. With your exhale, bend into the knees, gaze forward and start walking to the top of the mat. Come into a standing forward fold. Keep your feet hip-width apart. Feel free to have a gentle bend in your knees if that's more accessible for you. Release the torso towards the floor. Start to grab opposite elbows. Gently rock right to left. Go with gravity here. Releasing the torso down towards the floor. Drop the arms down. Press the feet into the floor. Bend into the knees. Rise up each vertebra at a time into a standing position. Bring the hands onto the lower back. Your fingers point down. The elbows point towards the back of the mat. Take an inhale, find length in your spine. And with your exhale, give it a gentle push with your hands against your hips. Open up your chest. Very gentle back bend. Inhale, bring the arms up over your head, high mountain pose. Exhale, release the hands down to your heart. Take 2 cycles of breath. Check in with your alignment. All 4 corners of your feet are grounded into the floor. Gently bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, draw the lower belly towards the spine, drop the shoulders away from the ears. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, and with your exhale, release into standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step both feet back, and come into high plank pose. Tuck the tailbone, draw the lower belly towards the spine. Push the floor away with your hands. Try to create as much space as possible between the floor and your body. 2 more cycles of breath. Keep your gaze in between your hands. With your next exhale, lower your knees, lower the chest down to the floor, untuck the toes, and bring the forehead down to the floor. Bring your hands, they are underneath your shoulders. Hug the elbows towards the torso. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. With your next inhale, push the floor away, rise up with the torso, cobra pose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and press the pubic bone into the floor to protect your lower back. With your exhale, release the torso and the forehead down to the floor. Push the floor away, come into tabletop, sit back into child's pose. Claw your paws, tuck the toes, push through the arms, lengthen the legs, move the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Give it a couple of steps in your down dog. Maybe move these hips right to left. See what feels good for you. Find stillness in your down dog. Gently bend the knees, tailbone points up towards the sky. Upper arms rotate outward. Push through the hands. Make sure you don't have any weight on your wrists. With your next inhale, lift the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Keep your hips squared. Keep the shoulders squared. With your exhale, bring your right knee into the chest. Push the floor away with your hands. With your inhale, move the right leg back into 3-legged dog. And with your exhale, step the right foot forward in between your hands. Lower the left knee down to the floor. Untuck your left toes. With your inhale, root to rise. Bring the arms up over your head. Come into your low lunge. Squeeze the thighs towards the midline. Draw the lower belly towards the spine. Square off your hips. The right hip is gently pulling back. The left hip is gently pulling forward. Find length through the sides of your body. We take 2 more cycles of breath in our low lunge. Make sure your right knee is stacked on top of your right ankle. Take 1 more inhale, find length through the sides of your body. With your exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Now, get ready to tuck the left toe. When you're ready, lengthen your left leg, come into high crescent lunge. Squeeze the thighs towards the midline. Draw the lower belly towards the spine. With your inhale, bring the arms up over your head. Press the feet into the floor. Take 1 more inhale, find length through the sides of your body. With your exhale, release the hands down, frame your right foot. And start to lengthen your right leg and release the torso towards your right leg. Pyramid pose. Keep your hips squared. The right hip is pulling back, the left hip is pulling forward. The more you squeeze, the more you square your hips, the more you will feel that nice lengthening stretch in your right hamstring. We take 2 more cycles of breath. With each exhale, see if you can release that torso closer towards your right leg. Last cycle of breath. With your next inhale, bend into the right knee, come back into your high lunge. And with your exhale, step the right foot back into downward facing dog. Give it a couple of steps, move it out with your hips. Find stillness in your down dog. Push through the hands, feel that nice lengthening in your spine. Gentle bend in the knees. With your next inhale, lift up your left leg. 3-legged dog. Keep your hips squared. Keep the shoulders squared. With your exhale, bring your left knee into the chest. Push the floor away with your hands. Keep your gaze in between your hands. Inhale, lengthen your left leg, three-legged dog. And with your exhale, step the left foot forward in between your hands. Lower the right knee down to the floor, untuck the right toes. When you're ready, sweep the arms up over your head, low lunge on your left. Squeeze the thighs towards the midline, square of the hips. Left hip is pulling back, right hip is gently pulling forward. Draw the lower belly towards the spine, find length through the sides of your body. Lift the chest towards the sky. One more cycle of breath. With your exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Then get ready, tuck your right toes this time. And then start to lengthen your right leg, high crescent lunge. Squeeze the thighs towards the midline and draw the lower belly towards the spine. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up over your head. And with your exhale, release the hands down, frame your left foot. Start to lengthen that left leg. Release the torso towards your left leg. Square your hips. Left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. With each exhale, release the torso closer towards your left leg. 2 more cycles of breath. With your next inhale, bend into the left knee and step the left leg back into downward facing dog. Bring some movement into your hips, pedal it out with your feet. Come to stillness in your down dog. With your next inhale, lift up come up onto your tiptoes and bend into the knees, gaze forward. Start walking to the top of the mat. Come back into standing forward fold. And then with your inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Bring the arms over your head. And with your exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. We take 2 cycles of breath. Make sure that all 4 corners of your feet are grounded into the floor. From your pelvis, press down through your legs and your feet into the floor and extend the crown of your head towards the sky. With your next inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes and then start to bend into the knees with your exhale and lower your hips down to your heels. Take your time here. Challenge yourself, challenge your balance. Slowly coming down. Nice work. And release the hands down to the floor. Sit back. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Your toes point forward towards the top of the mat. Press your feet into the floor, press your hands into the floor, and then with your next inhale, root to rise, lift the hips up into reverse tabletop. If it feels good for you, feel free to extend your head into your neck. Push through the hands, push through the feet, engage your glutes. I'm going to lift the head back up. It's easier for me to talk. Engage your glutes. Engage your thighs. 2 more cycles of breath. With your next exhale, slowly lower the hips down to the floor. Whew, nice work. Scoot back a little bit. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Flex your feet. Press the sits bones actively down into the floor. With your inhale, bring the arms up over your head. And with your exhale, release into a seated forward fold. Take your time here, and if you wish, you can always keep a gentle bend or more than a gentle bend, whatever feels best for you, in your knees. And then feel free to close your eyes and just connect with your breath. Imagine an ocean wave. With your inhale, find length in your spine. And with your exhale, find your depth, releasing the torso closer towards your legs. Try not to push yourself. Be gentle with your body and really allowing it the time it needs. And when you focus on your breath, you actually notice that with each exhale, you do come a little bit closer towards your legs. Even if it's tiny baby steps, but it works. It's all going into the right direction. 2 more cycles of breath. Try your best to hinge from the hips. With your next inhale, rise up with the torso. And then I'm going to turn to you guys so you can see me from the front. Come back to your easy crossed leg position. Bring your left hand onto your right knee. Your right hand comes behind your back. Take an inhale, find length in your spine. And with your exhale, gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, gaze over your right shoulder, finding a little bit more depth in your twist. Twist from the belly button upwards. 2 more cycles of breath. With your next inhale, move the gaze forward. With your exhale, come out of your twist and let's switch sides. Bring the right hand onto your left knee. Right and left is always confusing for me. Left hand behind your back. Take an inhale, find length in your spine. And with your exhale, gaze over your left shoulder. Try your best to twist from the belly button upwards. With your inhale, find length in the spine. With your exhale, find your depth in your twist. 2 more cycles of breath. With your inhale, move the gaze forward. With your exhale, come out of your twist. With your next inhale, bring the arms up over your head. And with your exhale, bring the hands down to your heart into the Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Check in with your body. Notice how different your body feels. Express gratitude towards yourself for taking the time out of your day for your practice. Express gratitude towards your body for flowing with you, for finding the balance. Drop your chin down to your chest, bow to your heart and your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. This was YOGATX. My name is Nicolle, and hopefully I will see you back on the mat next week, Wednesday. Take care, have a nice day, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.